Welcome to another episode of Game Changers for Government Contractors. I'm your host, Michael LeJeune, and today we have a special guest from the HUBZone Council. Ms. Kindra, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you're doing over there, and then we'll get into some of the changes at the council.
Absolutely. Thank you first and foremost, Michael and RSM Federal for having me. My name is Kindra Dionne, and I am the Chief Program Officer for the HUBZone Contractors National Council. This was a newly created position for the organization, and my primary focus is organizational structure and stability, and then outreach to communities all across the United States. In the past, we've had a heavy concentration on the East Coast because of its proximity to our nation's capital. But we realize and recognize that the heart and the soul of this organization stretches out from coast to coast. So what you're going to see coming up real soon is more presence from HUBZone Council in other states across the country. We're getting off the East Coast and we're going across the way.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, you and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and we talked about kind of the changes going on in the organization and what you're doing. And I thought this is just great information for everybody to have. Almost wish we had recorded while you were talking to us for this podcast, but I figured it'd be nice to just get on here. We'll talk a little bit about some of the changes going on and then kind of get into the annual conference. So whether you're listening to this before or after, there's an annual conference. It's always one of my favorite. I like the size. I like the location of it. We always meet a lot of really great people. So it's always been a kind of a fan favorite internally of ours to go to, and we really like it. But let's start with some of the changes going on at the HUBZone Council.
Absolutely. If you're not familiar with the HUBZone Contractors National Council, shame on you. No, I'm teasing. The
Yeah.
HUBZone Contractors National Council is proud to be celebrating 25 years this year of small business advocacy, outreach, support, and success. Particularly, our primary member is a HUBZone certified firm, but we support all small business. Whether you are HUBZone curious, HUBZone certified, or recently lost your HUBZone designation, we have services and resources for you too. Our membership also includes large prime organizations that are interested in direct introductions, relationships, and collaborative opportunities with small businesses, particular HUBZone certified firms. So we've got a variety of people within our membership roster. From an organizational standpoint, and to take care of our wide variety of member types, we recently hired on a new person. Her name is Chloe Mitchell. She is our member engagement coordinator. And when I tell you, this young lady has been on board for a week at this moment, and she is already taken off like a rocket ship. She is reaching out to our members, finding out how can we make the services and the resources that we provide to our members better to maximize value, because we recognize you have a choice in where you invest your dollars and where you invest your time. And we want to make sure that your dollars invested and the time spent with the HUBZone Council is worthwhile. So in addition to that, one of the new things that we rolled out just this year in 2025 is the launch of our Affinity Group program. These specialized groups are focused in a couple of core areas: business development and growth, which is one of our most popular tracks; advocacy, compliance, and legal, to deal with the advocacy related issues and topics related directly to HUBZone contracting, any type of legal things that people need more information about. And then compliance. How do I stay in compliance with my HUBZone certification? We also have community resources, where some of our community resource partners come on to our platform and share information in these 1 hour long virtual webinars, if you will, where we talk about things. For example, many people don't realize the depth and the breadth of the community resources that are right there in your own neighborhoods nationally to help you not only attain your 35% of your personnel, which have to live in a HUBZone, but also to keep them engaged. Programs like incumbent worker retraining programs, on-the-job training. These are national programs that have local administration. So we want to make sure that the local resource providers are telling you about it. And it's not specific to one community, it's all communities. They're sharing information and repositories of resources so that you can tap in to make sure that you're not just making dollars, but you're making a difference in your community, because that's what HUBZone is all about, is that opportunity for impact and income.
That's a great overview there. I've always felt like HubZone is like a tool in the tool bag that most companies don't know how to use.
Yes.
And I think it would be helpful in the midst of this discussion if you could explain that a little bit, because I think that may be one of the reasons that stops people from pursuing it. And once they get it, they go through and they're like, well, I can't figure out how to use this thing, and therefore I just let it go, or I don't worry about it, that sort of thing. So maybe you could help our listeners understand how to use that tool in the tool bag a little bit better.
Absolutely. I will do that for you if you will allow me a moment of personal privilege for an emotional outburst. This is like a
Yeah.
TED talk. Can I have it?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
okay? All
There
right.
you go.
So I will say the HubZone program is not a get rich quick scheme. It is not a shortcut to the shortcut. It is not a workaround in government contracting. And the people that participated are not to be taken advantage of. That is my soapbox. That is the
Yeah.
hill that I will stand on. There are far too many people that are looking for ways to shortcut the system or cheat the process or get ahead quickly or look for any and everything they can to take advantage so that they could win these all-encompassing contracts. HUBZone is not that. And if your intention is that, then this program is not for you. HUBZone is a socioeconomic program that has a soul. It cares about people. It creates jobs for your friends and neighbors, and it makes an economic impact in the neighborhoods around the nation, whether they be urban or rural, whether they be tribally owned or whether or not they be military bases, whether it's a disaster zone that's declared such on a federal level, whatever the case may be, it's about making a difference. I say if you're not interested in making a difference, you need not apply to become HUBZone certified, because it's going to take some grit and it's going to take some intestinal fortitude to see it through, because you're not going to win the contract the moment that you get your HUBZone certified. You may be in the program for a few years before you realize an opportunity. This is something you have to be passionate about. If you're passionate about helping people to realize their highest and best potential, helping them to learn skills and develop and grow, helping people to get meaningful work that actually matters, that makes a difference, helping to create your fingerprint on the local economy that is disadvantaged economically, whether it be a farm in Garrett County, Maryland, or whether it be an urban area in Detroit, Michigan. It doesn't matter. If you want to make a difference and you want to create jobs, then you'll want to pursue your HUBZone certification. When you go after those full and open contracts and those opportunities to meet another firm that's similarly situated, to possibly see if you can get something set aside, when you're presenting yourself at various matchmaking events, whether they be events hosted by our very close industry resource partners like WIP or 8A or VETS, any of these organizations that represent the different socioeconomic designations, no matter where you go for your matchmaking, you're gonna want to mention the passion that you bring to the table. So yeah, your organization can check multiple boxes. HUBZone is one that doesn't care who you love, how you vote, whether or not you serve. It really cares about your commitment to making a difference in the lives of American job seekers, because HUBZone is at its core a workforce program. Since its inception in 1997, it has been that. It continues to be that. And how you become certified is your commitment to your community. There's a whole process on sba.gov/HUBZone that gives you the nitty gritty and the details about why you should become HUBZone certified, why you care, what the program requirements are, and everything in between. And if you want to meet more passionate individuals like me, you need to connect to the HUBZone Council, because we keep it real so that you can get what you need in order to be successful in this program. Because we know keeping 35% of your workers who live in hub zones, it's not a small task. It is
Right.
hard. It takes effort, it takes enthusiasm, and it takes commitment to the program overall. And we want to help you to do that by sharing our resources and our network of resource partners to help you offset your personnel expenses, to tap into programs that'll help cover continuing education and things like that. We got so many partners that are committed to this program, that are at the table, that want to help you, the small business, be successful. It's senseless, it's nonsensical to not be involved in our council, in our organization. And again, you don't have to be a certified firm to join the council. You just have to be a person that's interested in making a difference, creating jobs, and is strengthening the economic impact on local communities across this country that are economically disadvantaged, whether rural, urban, military, or natural disaster zones. People who want to help should become HUBZone certified.
Yeah. And that's a good summary there. For us, I think we've been members for several years. I don't know how many at this point, and neither one of us owners of the company live in HUBZone. We never pursued HUBZone because we wouldn't qualify, but we've still joined, and we still active and do things and support the organization. So, I think we are, one of the examples of people that just, we want to be involved, and that's
That's
just the way
right.
it is. So
I
it could
always
be
say
anybody.
come around and stick around if you want to do business with people who have a heart and passion to make a difference. That's the thing that makes our conference and the experience of hanging out around the HUBZone Council uniquely different, because people, you can feel the energy of people who care about people. And when you walk in the room, you don't feel like you're at just another business conference. It really does feel like you're at a family reunion. You see more hugs and high fives than anything else, because we're all in this together. Rising tide raises all ships, and we're all committed to elevating the industry of government contracting. No matter your socioeconomic designation, it's all of us looking out for each other, whether you qualify or not. It's just the atmosphere that being around like-minded individuals that are passionate about making a difference creates.
Yeah. Hey, so you started to talk a little bit about the conference there. Tell everybody a little bit. Let's get into that. So the conference, like I said earlier in the opening, is one of my favorites. I think part of it is you've had it several of the years that I've gone at the same location, so there's a familiarity. There was the one year that I went that was in that really interesting location, the former Xerox location, which I actually liked after we got used to it. And if somebody's listening and you went to that one, you're like, that place was crazy. But it had the best cafeteria of
Oh my God, the
all
food was so
conferences
good.
I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, it was so good. So that was really fun. But so there's a familiarity there with the location and all that kind of stuff. But I like the size of it because it doesn't feel near as overwhelming as some of the conferences that have 4,000 and 5,000 people. And you're just going 100 miles an hour and you're walking for miles and miles and miles. This allows you to actually just engage in the area. It's set up really well. So why don't you talk a little bit about the conference that's coming up this year, and we'll kind of go from there.
Dude, this conference is going to be so insanely crazy and fun and awesome. You have no idea. Like, I am unnaturally excited about this conference. And I will tell you, despite what's happening in the GovCon landscape right now, we don't need to talk about it. You already know what's going on, right? So it doesn't matter what your stance is, whether you're riding it out or whether you're deeply impacted. Our conference has something for you. Not only is it the 25th anniversary of the council, so we got to do it bigger and better than ever anyway, because it's not often that you get to say, I'm celebrating 25 25 years until we get to 50 years. And hopefully, Mike, you and I will both be retired by then. Countdown,
Hopefully,
right?
yeah.
So you got that element of excitement and engagement and a celebratory atmosphere. And we all need that good energy boost, that injection of hope to overwhelm us in this season when contracting is a lot more challenging than it has been in recent years. So you've got that element. We're also inviting friends to the conference, right? In the past, you saw more HUBZone than anything else. We are opening our doors and broadening our reach to all small businesses. We're also super excited to announce that for the first time ever, we are co-locating an additional event in our conference. We have invited the American Small Business Defense Contracting Summit to co-locate at the National HUBZone Conference this year. So you're not just getting one event, you're getting two events in one. That's going to bring over 200 defense contractors right there to the table at the HUBZone Conference this year, which has never been done before. We are taking advantage of this opportunity and really playing my personality to the fullest. So, transparent moment here. Please don't run around telling people my secrets, Michael. I trust you now. You're my friend now. So, the secret about me that most people don't know, and if I told you, you probably wouldn't believe me. I am what they call an ambivert. An ambivert is a person who is extroverted professionally. It's what the job requires. I'm not afraid of public speaking. I can get up there and do it all day. But the introverted side of me prefers to be solo. I talk for a living. I don't want to talk when I get home. I like quiet. I'm not the best person in a traditional networking environment. I would rather post up on the perimeter of the room where I can see the entire space and speak when spoken to. It's not arrogance, it's introversion, right? So taking in consideration that they're going to be introverts at the conference and extroverts at the conference. We're going to have night owls at the conference and early birds at the conference. We've got early morning networking events from 7 to 8 a.m. for the people that just want to get up and have coffee with somebody and get a jump start on their conference day by making those early morning connections. We've got late night networking events in private hospitality suites that are invitation only, and many of our exhibitors and large prime contractors will have those invitations. So you'll have to make your way around the exhibit hall if you want to get invited into these exclusive networking opportunities. We're going to have many industry days. We're going to have sessions where people learn exactly how to do business with the large primes that are going to be led by the large primes in short TED Talk style formats where you're not going to be sitting in there for hours on end. You got 30 minutes. Come in, get the information, and get out. Go to the next session. There'll be panels, 45 minutes tops. There'll be studio sessions where there's hands-on learning, where you'll enter that session with an idea and you'll leave that session with a skill. It is so much that is going to be jam-packed into this week. I am like bursting at the seams. My team is scrambling because I'm constantly texting them with all these emotional outbursts and ideas. And they're like, girl, do you know we only have 4 days? So July 21st is when we're kicking it off. We've got our golf outing, and then we've got a strategic networking session that's on the patio. We're inviting in local chambers of commerce, economic development. We're going to have a post-golf outing social. We're going to have an ice cream social, and we're going to have a chairman's reception, all going on in the same general vicinity. And those people who come to the conference early as that Monday, will have an opportunity to meander throughout all of those networking salons when we do that event. On Tuesday, if you're participating in the HUBZone Conference, we're going to take a trip to Capitol Hill, where we're going to have a legislative fly-in led by our advocacy team, the Madison Services Group, where we'll get to meet with some of our representatives and talk about the success stories of HUBZone and why this program needs to continue to be supported, stabilized, and grow. I would love in my lifetime to see the statutory requirement go above 3% to 5%. Hey, let's stretch for 10%. It needs to happen. More opportunities for HUBZone companies because we're passionate, we're dedicated, and we're out here creating jobs and local economic impact. So why not raise that statutory requirement above 3%? Get it up to 5 and let's work for 10. I want to see that happen, right? So the other things that you can expect to see at our conference is the innovative business pitch competition. That's happening on Tuesday, where we'll take 25 businesses and allow you to pitch your ideas before our panel of judges. GDIT has generously come in as our signature sponsor for this event, and the top prize is $2,500 in honor of our 25th anniversary year of the council. And last but certainly not least
Nice.
is our 25th anniversary celebration dinner. So on the first night of our conference, we're going to have an incredible time. The attire is cocktail style with the trailblazing twist. So we're inviting everybody to put on your fanciest, snazziest, coolest blazer because it's all about blazing trails. And we're going to have a good time. And we're going to do a industry awards celebration that night at the dinner, our Trailblazer Awards. So we're currently accepting applications. If you want to nominate yourself or nominate a deserving business for that Trailblazer Awards, it is open. You can visit our website, hubzonecouncil.org, for more information about that Trailblazer Awards and all things related to this year's council, because it is going to be off the chain.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot going on. And I know, just because I've had other conversations with you, that there's more than what you shared. There's
Oh, yeah.
actually more than what you shared that's going on behind the scenes. And there's, just different types of events. We talked about like the mental health stuff and all
Yes.
kinds of different things. So there's sessions on all kinds of topics that are going to be really, really good. And so I look forward to it. I know I'm doing a session. My partner Josh is doing a session. I think I'm doing 2 sessions actually.
Yeah, you are.
Um, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I feel like we don't need to say, or do you have any final words? Because I feel like you just gave us a whole bunch on this stuff. So I will kind of close this up a little bit by, one, saying thank you for coming on and talking about this, and two, I, if you know me, you know that I don't just endorse a lot of things. Like people know that about me. I don't endorse a lot of things. And this is one of the things that I do endorse. It's something I've participated in for several years and have just loved it. So it's really kind of got a nice little soft spot in my heart to come to this conference every year and to support the organization and all the people in it. Over the years, I have had, it was Michelle for a long time, just really appreciated how if somebody was having an issue, they could make one phone call, one email, and get help. It didn't go into a black hole. There was a lot of support on your side, and so I really appreciate what the organization's done for my clients over the years. It's been really helpful, and so that's one of the reasons why I support you guys so much. So I just thank you
Absolutely.
so much. So
And we appreciate the partnership and the friendship. Like I said, a rising tide raises all ships, and it takes all of us to change this industry for the better, right? So whether you have clients that are HUBZone certified, whether you yourself are HUBZone certified, or what we like to call HUBZone curious, there's something for everybody at the table. But you gotta be in the room to experience it, to see
yeah,
what happens, what goes on. At this year's conference, like Mike said, we are taking care of the whole person. We are not leaving any part out. So your personality styles, your networking styles, your sleep patterns, we got something for everybody. So this is a
yeah,
not to miss event. It's so many new things that we're rolling out. So you don't want to hear about it after the event. You want to be there to
yeah,
experience it for yourself. So make
yeah.
sure you grab those tickets and lock that in.
Yeah, and since you mentioned the tickets last minute here, I will say it's one of the most affordable events out of the ones I've gone to. So it's very affordable. There's a lot of them that are super expensive to go to, just the ticket, not even, the hotel and all that kind of stuff. But this one's really affordable for folks. So
Yes.
I really appreciate that too. So,
Can I
well,
plug a promo that we have going right
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah,
Michael?
yeah. Go ahead.
So, if you and your friends, and by friends, I mean colleagues in contracting, want to come to this conference, we are offering the Executive Access Pack, which is a ticket bundle. It includes 4 tickets or general registrations for the HUBZone Conference, as well as 4 tickets to our 25th anniversary celebration dinner and industry awards. So those bundles are only $2,500. It is a savings, a realized savings of $1,200. That is
Nice.
huge. That puts
That is
it
huge.
below the early bird pricing. So you don't want to miss this. The bundles have to be purchased in packets of 4. So you and 3 of your industry friends or your business colleagues grab those bundles up and get yourself to Chantilly, Virginia, July 21st through the 24th, because you're not going to want to miss this conference.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great way to wind up this episode. So thank you so much again for coming on and talking about this. And for anybody listening, I hope to see you at the HUBZone Conference.